coming on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. They done drive no play with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set to girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratons too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done.
Persons can do so peacefully, and they can, but blocking the road for hours is something that
Mr. Ali, I saw you block your road. Yes, Mr. Ali.
I'm just telling
Mr.
you.
Ali, there are videos with you protesting, you being a scrape and a tug. Mr. Ali, this is not, listen, sometimes we gotta put our position aside.
No, this is not position.
No, we gotta put our position aside and place ourselves into people's shoes. You gotta understand, even those persons who were traveling, yes, they were inconvenienced, but they understood the reason. They understood the reason. We understand the inconvenience.
Yeah, my name is Jacinti Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
How we gonna do a body man walk right now? You ready? Box on, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body walk, truck, body walk, body walk. Body walk, everything, body, listen, body jump, body jump, body jump, everything, body jump, body jump, body jump, body jump, everything. Hear me sing, so big body can't wear it tight pants, big body just.
All right, hey, guess what? My name is Mark Benchap. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. For those of you who are going to go out and just do whatever you have to do, pray for your country, though. Pray for Guyana, because those folks in the corrupt PPP regime aren't going to do it. Jagdeo is not going to do it for you. Irfan Ali is not going to do it for you. But what they want to do is to fool you, manipulate the minds of the people. Elections around the corner in Guyana, and they believe with maybe their friends, big business friends, whether in Venezuela or in Guyana or wherever else, this is what they did. They sat down and they cooked this whole thing up as to how they are going to conduct a masquerade to pretend as though there is going to be some sort of invasion by that corrupt man in Venezuela, Maduro. And so when they do that now, they're stirring up support And so they are reaching out to opposition people and for the opposition people to feel sympathetic towards the cause, albeit opposition people, most of them, if not all of them, are patriotic. And I know that I'm not just saying that only opposition folks are patriotic. I know that there are some PPP folks who are also patriotic and other political parties for the most part. However, what the PPP is doing, and like I said, it is what is called a diabolical conspiracy. And if they throw these things out there to give the impression, to give the public the impression that, hey, wait a minute, they all got to come together now because it suits this agenda, when in fact it's just a game. And those of you who believe that Maduro is actually serious, you will come to the realization that it's just a show. I don't know who is this, who the people in Venezuela, who the heck they think that they are going to go into another country, conduct an elections and expect. How are you guys serious? Where are the polling booths going to be? Polling stations. Unless Claudette Singh is going to head out there right now. Oh, yeah, Claudette Singh. Unless Claudette Singh is going to go out there and to have her staff at GCOM to go and set up a polling station. And now I just want you guys to understand, where are these Venezuelans in Guyana? Where are they going to vote? Somebody's bottom house? Are they going to be voting at Freedom House in Essequibo? Where are they going to be voting? How are they going to conduct these votes? I don't know why y'all falling for this sort of game. I don't know. Any one of you guys falling for this game? Where are they going to vote? And John, behave yourself. Last warning, y'all see what Anjan put when we say where are they going to vote? Y'all take a look in the comment section. Those of you who have access to that, take a look at what where Anjan says that the people are going to go and vote. That is up. Anjan, please, we do not tolerate that sort of thing on 107.1 FM. But even if we did, that is one hell of a polling station. Sorry about that, guys. It's Friday. I'm being a little naughty, right? Check what Anjan, where Anjan said the people are going to go in to vote. And if that is the case, Anjan, then it's one heck of a big polling station. All right. Good night to all of you. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benja. It's 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Now, where are they? Again, I'm asking this question to all of you guys. Where are they going to go and vote? Right, Rajendra? Dinanath, sorry. Where, with them Venezuelans, whether in Guyana, that Maduro is urging to vote? Where are they going to go and vote? Then get polling stations? In order to vote, you have to go into a polling station, right, Jack Dale? Into a a voting booth, right, Jack Dale? Are you going to give the people a voting booth like Ann John suggested? Voting booth, voting booth? I'm sorry, to vote? So this whole thing is a sham. Them ain't going nowhere. They're not going to vote. Maduro is laughing. And meanwhile, Jack Dale, they're pretending and Irfan Ali. Hear what it said. Let me try and muster up support. Muster up. Let Abi muster up support and try to let the opposition folks feel sorry for Abi. You know? And it is not happening at all. It is just not happening. The opposition, rightly so, not even the opposition, not even the PPP supporters believe these Pacus, these PPP Pacus. Pacu Jack Dale, one Jack Dale, one Juan, one Jack Deal. Look at one Jack Deal next to a Venezuelan flag. You think these people easy? All you think they're easy. They're not easy. One Jack Deal, one Gonzalez, Jack Deal. One Gonzalez, Jack Deal. So here now. All you hear now. Y'all hear this. So while they want and they go and they say, we, Jack Deal is saying we. He's begging. Now he's begging. We. He never know we when they went into Agricola and beat the people up and displaced them, broke down their businesses, break down their businesses, right? All of these things chase the people away. They can't earn a living. They can't do anything. Y'all remember what they did with that woman? They stomped on her, muddy her skin, all manner of things. And now Jack Dale saying we. And the people are rightly asking, and they're looking Jack Dale in his face and saying, we who? Right? Now we who? We who? People are telling Jack Dale them, let them go and at the border and fight. Patriotism is not when Jack Dale open their beak or whatever else they open, coca or whatever else, and say, oh, people must feel sympathetic for the PPP. People are not feeling sympathetic for the PPP. People are patriotic, and patriotism, it is for country, not for party. And what Jack Dale want people to do is to feel sorry for them. And the people aren't feeling sorry for them. All you know the song called Sorry for Magadag? Well, that is what the PPP Jack Dale Irfan, they are Magadag. Because the sorry people felt sorry for Magadag, and then the Magadag turn around and biting their own supporters. And so this time around, the people say, no, carry the wee thing somewhere else, Jack Dale. Turn in a corner and carry the wee somewhere else. Stoop down on it or something. The people aren't buying it. And I support, I say kudos to the people. So not because them say that the people, majority of Guyanese are not supporting the PPP on this issue. They're not embracing the PPP on this issue. They're tired of the BS from the PPP. They beat people up, they lock people up, they persecute people, and then when it suits their agenda, then is when they want to talk about, we, the people said, rake all your, right? As sorry, I don't know, these couple of days I'm a little bit managed, because looking at Jack Dale, when Jack Dale come to people and Irfan and they say we, people say Rick, oops, sorry, I forget I'm on the air. And look, check this out. This guy, right? This guy, Randy Jack Dale, on $350,000 bail. I don't know if this is Jack Dale's nephew, Irfan Barra Jack Dale, Juan Gonzalez Jack Dale's nephew. I don't know. But this guy hates Guyana so much that he now wants to give away Essequibo. He's saying, let Venezuela go. That is what he's saying. And they gone and they charge him with inciting persons to commit treason. So if this guy has an opinion, right, I'm not saying it's right, that, if Venezuela wants to go, and let them just go and do it. And so he is inciting. Who is he inciting to commit treason? I'm just curious. By the way, this guy is 39 years old, right? If he's 39 years old, well, no wonder why he's thinking the way he's thinking, because When I was 39, God must have taken his time to make me, but all of us don't have the same luck. But if he's 39 years old, something wrong somewhere. And so people are just fed up of the PPP regime. They're fed up. This guy might not necessarily mean what he say, but then again, gonna get a lot of individuals. For all, I wish I was a psychiatrist. Trust me, lots and lots of such individuals. But let's go to Parliament now. This woman here, her name is Shekisu. Shekisun, right? Shekisun. That's her name. Don't blame me for pronouncing her name like that. Shekisun. She is sitting there. She is squatting in a seat. She is sitting there illegally, according to GCOM. But GCOM can't do nothing to remove her. That is how messed up the laws, especially the laws as it pertains to GCOM and so forth. Imagine she's squatting there. These are people, you expect to trust these people? You expect to trust these Pakus? Yeah? You expect anyone of y'all trust this Paku? Just imagine. She got into Parliament based on an arrangement between, I think, her party, what's his name? Schumann's party. Sorry about that, guy. Schumann's party, and I believe another party, so that they can share one seat. One seat, the sharing. Schumann, also known as Schumann, went there, he made a mess out of it. And then he got out. She got in based on a deal that she's supposed to be there only for a certain time. And after her time is up, it is supposed to be anog. She refuses to walk away, to leave her seat and honor that agreement. She refused to do that. Oh, man. And this is the sort of woman, this is the sort of person that wants to talk about what? She has no shame. She has no dignity. Nothing. Shame on her. If she is depriving another party that gave her an opportunity to become somebody in life, I mean, to sit in Parliament, because Parliament is a big thing for enough of them, Enough of them. Some of them in the opposition to Parliament is a big thing for enough of them. And so she has the audacity. Listen to this Paku here now. Speaking of Paku. Anyways, let me just relax, right? This is what she's saying. And I quote, "I came here today thinking that we're all going to come together, united. There is no government. There is no opposition. But what I saw was very disturbing as a young person." Really? Hardface is a young, oh gosh. Anyways, let me continue. Sorry. Guys, I should not be doing that. As a young person, the opposition, continue to display their lack of understanding for this serious issue. It's shameful behavior from the opposition. End of quote. Shakisoon on the opposition walkout. Just imagine, right? Shakisoon is talking about shameful. You know what is shameful, Shakisoon? The fact that you say you're young. Big old hardback lady like you young. The other thing that is disturbing, as you say, disturbing, is that you are squatting in that seat. You should be the last person to use words like disturbing and shameful behavior, because you don't want to give Anog them the seat. That is shameful. That is very disturbing for a young, hard back looking person. That is shameful. That is bad behavior. And that is because you lack understanding of what an agreement is and what democracy is all about. Let me ask you this, Ash Kisoon. Don't you feel ashamed when you walk up Parliament building, walking in to Parliament to sit down in a seat that you basically robbed Anog? You choke and rob Anog. Huh? And then you always want condemn people because they snatch a little pocketbook or whatever. Not condoning that either. But y'all want to look at other people and call them thieves and crooks. Look at what you have done. If you had any dignity, you would have resigned from the seat at the time you were supposed to have done that. But because of your shame, you don't get no shame. You're still sitting in that seat. You're squatting in that seat. The highest seat of the land. You stole from another party, right? And yet you want to what? Man, look. Get the award. Where is Lemon? Get the award for this shameless woman. Get the award for her right now. That's right, the award for her. Now, this is the same woman, right, Isaac? This is the same woman in that same parliament, sat there quietly when Manzoor Nadir said they can't use the word corruption. Oh, I now understand why she was quiet. Because Anog folks feel there's a corruption that's going on, and that is why she's sitting in that seat. She's squatting in that seat. Shame on us. Kiss. The other way around. Kiss. Right? And that is why she was quiet. When Manzoor Nadir said that no one the word corruption used, guilt. And then not so long ago, right, when there was a motion by a member of parliament of the opposition to debate the circumstances or to talk about the young girl's death, Adriana Young. But you know what? She didn't have a voice then, like cat the gun with her tongue. She couldn't find her tongue. As a young person, it is bad when you can't find your tongue. You couldn't speak. You couldn't say anything. But anytime the PPP vomits in parliament, you are the first to lick it up. You make Kwame, lick Kwame look like nothing. You are the first to lick it up, lick it off the floor and run with it. So with this hypocritical nonsense here, but you came today thinking that we are all going to come together for who? For what? To suit y'all agenda in parliament? Who the hell you guys think you are? I'm so happy that the opposition walked out. Leave y'all alone in y'all own mess, y'all own vomit, and let Venezuela Maduro carry all of y'all away to Venezuela, to the capital, Caracas, and left y'all right there. Because y'all are not patriotic. Y'all are not about Guyana. It's always about y'all selves and always trying to make it appear as though somebody else is the problem, right? Y'all are the problems. You are part of the problem. You, Asha, you are part of the problem. You're squatting in a seat. How could, if you want to call yourself young, how can young people believe in people like you who cannot honor a simple agreement to come off of that seat and allow somebody else to warm it up. Someone else to warm it up, but no. And you want people to believe you? And where is Lemon? Where is the donkey? The real one. Anthony John Harris. We do not deal with those sort of things. Thanks for pointing it out, Lemon. We're not calling for nobody to shut nobody and who to. Anthony, what's his name? Anthony Harris. I thought Anthony Harris would talk with God and the Lord, and then next thing you know, he talk about shutting it. Bro, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with your comments, please. Be careful with your comments. So let's get back to this. We're done. We're done with hypocrites. I just thought I'd point that out. You guys see, you guys understand, you guys know who the hypocrites are. Hey, speaking of hypocrites, the donkey's going to be busy tonight, right, Lemon? The donkey is going to be busy tonight. So Charles Ramson Jr., he's some minister in Guyana, some kind of minister. I don't know what these guys are. But this is what Charles Ramson has said in his voice. Today, the opposition has proven why they should never be anywhere near government. Can you believe? What has the opposition proven? These are the same Pakus who sat on the seat next to Kwame. He's sitting next to Kwame. Well, anybody who's sitting next to Kwame, trust me. Yeah, I know what's going on, right? Sorry about that, guys. So this is what Charles Ramson, some minister of some youth sports and vulture, this is what he said. Today, again, because of the walking out, again, because the opposition in sucking up to the corrupt PPP regime. And so Charles Ramson said on his Facebook page, today the opposition has proven why they should never be anywhere near government again. Can you believe these hypocrites? This is the same Charles Ramson Jr. who sat there and allowed the Speaker of the National Assembly, a PPP puppet, to say that there will be no discussion, no debate on Adriana Young. None whatsoever. All these Pakus. Where is the donkey, Lemon? Where is the donkey? Charles Ramson, come to the front of the class and collect your award. All right, so Wayne Caesar is with us this evening. We are going to go until 10 o'clock, and as soon as the bell says 10, we're out of here. Wayne, can you touch on the hypocrisy coming from Asha Kisoon and then this other hypocrite, Charles Ramson, about the walking out of Parliament? Let's begin. Go ahead,
yes.
Sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Mark, and good evening to all the listeners and viewers. Thank you for having me. Well, look, when we look at Charles Ramson, I know you call him the Minister of Youth and Sports. I believe he's a piece of trash. I believe he's garbage, to be honest with you. When he comes to Parliament, he should just come with a pad and a pen and be prepared to learn, because this kid
that's Wayne, please. He doesn't have to come with a pad and a pen. He has to come with a pen, because if he needs a pad, Kwame is sitting right next to him. Continue, sir.
Well, I did. Thank you, sir. Thank you for educating me on that. I didn't think that Kwame was sitting right next to him. Then I would not have had him. I would not have brought up pad. But nevertheless, Mark, this young man has proven his ignorance over and over and over again, and I believe that the people of Ghana is just about sick and tired of it. They need to put a muzzle on him when he goes to Parliament, because what he's saying is just not making sense. Come on. This government wants to sit there and they want the opposition must engage with them whenever it comes to matters of Venezuela. And outside of that, other pertinent matters with regards to Guyana, very important and pertinent matters in regards to Guyana, they do not want to engage the opposition when it comes to our oil patrimony and anything that is regarding finances. You know, they don't want no talking whatsoever. It's a PPP way or highway. That is not fair, Mark. Kudos to the opposition. They did the right thing. That was a shocker today, you know. And Mark, let me just give some credit where some credit is due. The leader of the opposition did an excellent job in his speech today. I believe it is best I've ever seen him today. He had a plaster for every single sore, you know, and that is what's needed. That is exactly what is needed. Kudos to the opposition. They are the big winners today. Mark, the PPP has always been losers. They've always been losers, and the trend is going to continue at this 2025 elections. There's no way that the PPP is winning this. As for Asha Kesoon, the hypocrisy of her to come out and speak and said that she didn't expect that from the opposition. Well, what do you expect? You vote with the PPP all the time. You are a PPP. You know, shame on ANOG. You know, Ralph Ramkaran and Timothy Jonas have done absolutely nothing about you. They allow you to just camp out and sit there in Parliament and vote along with the PPPC. So listen, you don't have a voice. You need to put a muzzle on your mouth. You know, we don't want to hear anything from you. The Guyanese people wants to hear absolutely nothing from Dr. Asha Kesoon. Okay? Her time is soon going to be up.
So, on this occasion, it's not shame on ANOG. ANOG is not responsible for her still squatting in that seat. In fact, ANOG has been after her to get out of that seat. She is robbing ANOG of that seat. And she has a small party with just a couple of votes. And she is sitting in that seat because of an arrangement between three of them. Slacky Schumann, TCI or TPI, whatever Asha little group is, and ANOG. And so the deal is now for ANOG to sit in that seat, to occupy that seat. And because they are afraid that ANOG may not be 100% with the PPP, Jagdev and Irfan and these guys do not want to take that risk. And that is what it's all about. But, you know, enough of those pakus. We got other things to discuss. What is your take on Jagdev saying now he wants to use the word we should all come together? Talk about that, please, sir.
Mark, first thing, we where? We who? Who are we talking about? The poor, the 53% that is living in poverty? What equity do they have in Guyana that he must say we must come together and stand up against Venezuela? No, you send sheriff cooperation to the border. You, sheriff, all you rich guys who controls the narrative in Guyana, pick up your guns, head to the border, put on your little cap on your bald head, head to the border. Don't call them poor people. Poor people, stay in your house. You don't have any equity whatsoever in the country. Look, we've been extracting oil for what? For 5 years, going on 6 years now, okay? And what you guys have gotten? $100,000. Look, our GDP, 2020, Mr. Benchcap, 43.5% GDP growth. 2021, 20.1%. 2022, 63.3% GDP. 2023, 33.8. 2024, 43.8. 2025, they projected about 10 to 12%. I projected about 18%. Where are we? We are around 18%. All right. So it just shows you, you know, Guyana is gaining a tremendous amount of wealth that we've never seen before. It is not going to our people. And then this brute here that is on screen is going to come and tell Guyanese to go and challenge Venezuela at the border. No, we will not. You should have never told them that we should consider giving them a channel out to the sea without consulting the Guyanese people. You should have been charged with treason, Barry Jagdeo. So look, Guyanese, stay put.
Let the PPP, you understand me, the autocratic PPP government go to the border, you understand me, and defend Guyana.
That's on that note. Let Jack Deere go to the border. Let Irfan Ali go to the border. Let them go to Bat settlement as well, and let them round up some of these people and take them to the border as well. Some of these people. Those are the PPP folks. And when you want to talk about domestic terrorism, let me show the people again. There's the same police. They don't run. When they go to Linden, they shoot and kill people. In Georgetown, they shoot and kill people. Look how they behave, like a bunch of pussycats running away from the domestic terrorists. Well, let Jack Dale and Irfan, let them take the domestic terrorists to the border and fight Venezuela. Even though in my opinion, it's all a game, but let them take those domestic terrorists to the border. Wayne, are you surprised how they chased those police and those police ran like that?
No, Mark, I am not surprised because here, like I said before, there is no independence between the PPPC government and the Guyana Police Force. Okay, the orders to the Guyana Police Force comes from the executive. So when it comes to mischief being made more so by Guyanese of East Indian descent, you understand me? Those orders to shoot and kill and these type of orders never come down. Okay, but vice versa, when it comes to African Guyanese of African descent, then the orders come down from the executive to beat them, to shoot them with rubber bullets, to use live ammunition, to do everything. So, Mark, when we look at Guyana, when we look at the autocratic society there in Guyana, we can see that there are double standards across the board in Guyana. It is so obvious. And, it is surprising that we have so many ambassadors and all these type of people in Guyana looking in, and all of these people are failing to see what is going on, or even if they're seeing it, they're not really speaking up about it thus far, but I await to hear from them. Over to you, sir.
The people have to speak up. The ambassadors have to speak up in their interest. I believe the U.S. ambassador said they're willing, the U.S. is willing and ready to stand on the side of Guyana, which is commendable. But the people also have to speak up. The PPP regime is, and I go back to what Ramson and these guys are saying, that trying to put the blame on the opposition because the opposition doesn't want to embrace them or hold on to them. And I support. In fact, I don't think anybody should embrace the PPP when it comes to Venezuela. And here why. It is not because people are unpatriotic who hold on to that position. It's that the people don't trust the PPP regime. The people are patriotic. The people will stand up against Venezuela, but they're not going to hold hands with the corrupt Jack Dale and Irfan Ali and these guys to do that. And that is why the people are rejecting that. Because when it suits their purpose, they want the people to come together. But when that is done, all is said and done, they go back into Linden, and their agents of the police force will go and shoot and kill people, shoot people in their mouth, shoot people in their eyes, kill them, and all manner of stuff. Go into Moko Arcadia and bulldoze people's homes, take away their lands, and all these things. And then now, after persecuting people as well, charging dozens of people with trumped up terrorism charges, and all these things, and you want them to now hold your hands, Jack Dale, to hold Irfan hands? It doesn't work like that. Y'all go and fight Venezuela. Y'all go at the border. Put on y'all slingshot, put on whatever y'all got to put on. Go at the border and fight. That's all. There's nothing unpatriotic about that. Let them go. Let them carry Vice Cartel. Let them carry Spice. Let them go at the border and turn to Venezuela and say, what they under my nose. Let them go to the border and do that. What is your take with this whole big partying going on? Partying going on tomorrow in Georgetown and in Essequibo, and while they're talking about some seriousness with Venezuela. What's happening with that, Caesar?
And Mark, I'm going to elaborate on that, but before that, just allow me the latitude to say one thing. It's ironic with what I see in Guyana now, because what I see in Guyana currently, it just reminds me of the colonial times, where especially Africans have experienced divide and conquer. And that is exactly what we're experiencing right now. We are experiencing a modern day divide and conquer occurring right under our eyes. But listen, I am not going to sit here and not call it out. I am not going to sit here and not call out people. You know what has happened, Mark, over those decades? We call what? We have now 58 years. We're coming up of independence, right? And over that period of time, Mark, many of us would have migrated from Guyana and come out to the diaspora, and we would have studied and we understand how things work. You understand me? In a lot of these large economies, right? And we just will not allow what has happened in the past to happen in Guyana again. I want to say this out loud. We will not allow what has happened in the past to happen again. Now, with the whole party thing, Mark, a total disrespect. Another thing too, especially to the poorer Guyanese, and more so a lot of African Guyanese, because African Guyanese are some of the largest consumers in the country. For a matter of fact, let's go around the world. Africans are the world's largest consumers. Okay, let's go around the world for that one. But I'm gonna say this. Okay, the PPP believes that they have studied you guys to the extent that no matter what is going on in Guyana, they can just bring in an artist into Guyana. They're going to draw you guys' attention, all right, away from critical issues that are occurring in your country, and get everybody to go to the stadium and wind up and dance up with cartel. At the same time, with 53% of you living in poverty, your money is paying out and going towards that show. Because look, you got to buy a ticket. I know all of you guys going to want to put on your Saturday or Sunday best to be out there. That's going to cost money. The drinks is going to cost money. By the time you're finished there, man, you don't have anything for the children. Okay? You ain't got anything for rent. All right? So, look, we've got to stand up once and for all and say, no, this is not what we want for ourselves. You understand me, Mark? Look, one night cannot satisfy you for an entire year, man. Guyanese need to start getting smart. And when they start getting smart, the PPP is going to understand that the people are not falling for that kind of stuff anymore. So, Mark, I await to see what the attendance at the concert looks like.
So, on that here, the people are definitely talking about the lack of seriousness on the part of the PPP regime. They're not serious at all. They're going to Essequibo to sport. This is not about any unity. This is not about any coming together to confront Venezuela. This is a PPP plot. This is a PPP campaign out in Essequibo. Let's move away from that for a moment, as we have other stuff to discuss as we look at the time, 50 minutes after 9 o'clock. So I want the listeners to listen to this guy. And this is Jabbar, I believe he is. He is talking about the PPP and the hypocrisy as it pertains to the 2020 election.
So let me get this straight. The PPP government can subpoena me to come to court to tell the judge the truth about the bad things APNU has done. But the minute I call them out on the bad things they have done, I'm a liar? Okay.
Okay, so what this guy is saying, as it pertains to as it pertains to the 2020 elections, that the PPP wanted him to go to testify so that he can talk about what his interpretation of bad things the coalition did, whatever those bad things are. But one of the good things that came out of that elections, though, is that we saw that the PPP lost the elections. So this guy went to talk about whatever bad things. I don't know what bad things he saw, but what I do know, he knows a lot of bad things about the PPP. But what he was saying is that the PPP subpoenaed him to go and talk the bad things about the PNC and the coalition in the 2020 elections. But when he spoke about what he saw the PPP doing, the PPP now saying that he's a liar and all manner of things. And that is why this guy said this.
So let me get this straight. The PPP government can subpoena me to come to court to tell the judge the truth about the bad things APNU has done. But the minute I call them out on the bad things they have done, I'm a liar? Okay. So let me get this straight.
Wayne, briefly, what is your take on the hypocrisy as we look at the time? What is your take on the hypocrisy, sir?
You know, Mark, I know Keon a little. He's a smart guy. Listen, Mark, whenever the PPP can use you to their convenience, okay, and get out of you what they want to get out of you, all is good and dandy. All right? It is good. Everything is fine. Whenever you turn your back and you are going to speak about the PPPC and things that they have done wrong, then you are in trouble. It's a major, major problem. And look, Keon was smart enough to figure it out, and kudos to him. You know, what the PPP is looking to do right now, they are looking to get people to go to court, okay, and speak exactly what the PPPC wants to be heard out there. All right. They are trying to build a case for themselves. And I don't believe that that is going to work, because I believe like Keon, a smart guy, you know, over the 5 years, he has seen how horrible this government has done. He's not blind. He has seen it. And if he can see it, so many others have seen it. So this strategy by the PPPC is not going to work, guys. Look, GCOM has came out and said that they are ready. As of September, Mark, they are going to be ready for elections. Look, it puzzles me that the installed president have not come forward and given a date that they're going to prorogue parliament and an election date. Why, Mark? Why? You ask the question, why? Okay, because I don't believe that the PPP is confident that they are going to win the 2025 elections. If they were, they would have jumped to prorogue parliament and give an election date. But they're not confident. And you could see Tim Barajagdi on Thursdays. That is not a very confident man that sits there before you guys. You can see it. And worse yet, Mark, what happened at the parliamentary sitting today? Oh man, it really demonstrates how weak of a government Guyana has right now.
All right, so 54 minutes after 9 o'clock, getting back to what that guy said, it proves what the PPP is about. They are basically about to cover up the skullduggery that they took part in, for the most part, the skullduggery, to cover up. And they expect all those who were part and parcel of that to go to court and to only speak from one side of their mouth. And what we have been seeing over the past few weeks coming out of the court is the exposing of the corruption of the PPP during the 2020 elections. The 2020 elections was rigged, massively rigged, in favor of the PPP regime by their corrupt individuals from overseas who wanted to see them in office. And so this whole thing that the coalition did something bad, we're not seeing any evidence. If you take a good look, a closer look to what's happening in the courts, you will see all of the evidence pointing in the direction that the PPP has something to hide, and they know that they did not win the March 2020 general and regional elections. All right, for those of you who are now joining us, welcome to Straight Up. Wayne Caesar is going to be on tomorrow afternoon on Over to You. Very briefly, Wayne, your closing remarks, please, sir.
Yeah, Mark, I first want to thank you for having me tonight. Look, I just want to say to the Guyanese people, hold your heads up, be strong, okay? Do not be weak. Do not allow an autocratic government who would have studied you in depth to control you, okay? Show that you have self-control. Stay in your homes with your children, all right? Or gather together as a family, watch a movie, do something, all right? You guys don't have to go to a cartel show, all right? When Guyana is in a better position, when Guyanese across the board, across all 6 ethnic groups, is living with some measure of prosperity, okay? We have a good, solid, engaging government and a good, solid engagement opposition where government and opposition are coming together and working together in harmony. Then we can determine that, okay, we want to have a show at the stadium or a show wherever for the people of Guyana. At this present moment, we are looking for justice for Adriana Young. We are looking for justice for the 2 young men in Linden. And we are looking for justice for all of the individuals who would have fallen to extrajudicial killings in Guyana. This is by no means over. We're going to fight tooth and nail until all the families get justice. Okay, the PPP is not, even if they're voted out of government, Mark, they're not going to just be allowed to walk out of Guyana with all the monies that have gone lost and all of this. There must be investigations. There must be forensic work being done to recapture some of the monies that the Guyanese people would have lost under this wicked and corrupt PPPC regime. And then to all the investors who are investing in Guyana, I warn you, please make sure that your practices are up to international standards. If you are a US company, make sure that your practices are aligning with the SEC. Okay? If you are a US company, please make sure that your practices are aligning with the SEC. Do not risk your cooperation. Mr. Benchop, again, thank you for having me. Over to you now, sir.
All right, and to all of our listeners, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. I'll be back next Monday, same place, same time. It's a long holiday weekend. Enjoy that long holiday weekend. And Wayne Caesar is going to be on tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on his program Over to You. And again, to all of you, thank you all so much. Keep hope alive. And let's see what this dancing weekend is all about as Jack Deere prepares to probably ask the Venezuelans to put him as governor of Essequibo. All of Essequibo belongs to Guyana, but this guy, Jack Deere, continues to play games with the people. Have a great rest of the night, guys. God bless you all. And keep in mind, remember what Jack Deere said. He wanted a concession with Venezuela so that Venezuela could go into Guyana and do business. Listen to him.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area.
All right, so it's 8 o'clock. We're out of here. God bless you. See you guys later. So long. Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by 1 vote, they're losing it by data.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Zhirong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship?
could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area.
Really. And this country got some really stupid people, really. And this really. And this country got some really stupid people, really.
Em. Ông hiểu. Nương em.